An interior is the natural projection of a soul. Gabrielle Coco Chanel must have been speaking of herself when she spoke these words. A look into a Parisian apartment on 31 Rue Cambon speaks of the woman she was, her personality, sensibilities, and her keen eye for style. The apartment speaks of her life as a woman, a fashion icon, a collector of different arts, and an intellectual. Right from the entrance, the apartment reflects Chanel's stylistic learnings and preferences. Each element indicates a well-thought-out decorative process. The elements in this house also reflect her personality, from her desire for timeless pieces to her spiritual beliefs and superstitions. The Art Deco spiral staircase with mirrored banisters is one of the most iconic features of this house, and perhaps one of the most photographed elements of the apartment. Chanel designed this legendary staircase herself, connecting it to all apartment floors. This staircase features beautifully crafted handrails and tall mirrors that turn it into a grand space straight out of a fashion magazine. In addition to the beautiful Art Deco handrails, the stairs have beige carpeting with white trim on each step, leading to the upper floors. With a mirrored staircase, she could stand in one spot and observe everything on all floors without being seen. For Coco, this meant a private viewing experience, allowing her to assess the numerous fashion showcases she held and the audience's reactions. She would sit on the 5th step, a number that symbolizes luck, and explains why she showcased her collections on the 5th of May. Behind these mirrors, she would take in the fashion world without letting her presence distract from the main show. The design of this staircase is a testament to her creativity in finding solutions that worked for her. Known to be shy and often nervous before her showcases, this mirrored staircase offered her privacy as she assessed her critics' positive or negative reactions. This apartment features multiple floors, each with a dedicated function. The ground floor serves as the boutique, displaying different collections from the brand, including the iconic Chanel No. 5 perfume, clothing, and other accessories. Chanel took the less is more approach when decorating the ground floor with understated neutral tones featuring beige, white, and black, accented with mirrors and lacquered surfaces. The first floor of the apartment houses the reception area, which is dedicated to Chanel's haute couture clients. On this floor are several salons, each with a spacious yet luxurious waiting room and closets packed with haute couture collections. Chanel has models in these salons who showcase different collections to prospective buyers. On the second floor, we see Chanel's artistic sensibilities and walk through the places she's been through her furnishings. The second floor apartment served as a private residence, and while she did not sleep here, the space has been maintained in the same condition as it was when she died more than 50 years ago. Her apartment is an infusion of colors, textures, and patterns, with ornaments drawn from Eastern and Western influences. The second floor apartment also served as the location for the parties she held for her friends. Some notable people who attended these parties included Dali, Pablo Picasso, and Alberto Giacometti. She also hosted meetings with her notable clients in this apartment. She designed her space to reflect the intimate theme of her apartment, including warm tones on her walls, furniture, and plush carpets. Beige and red are prominent colors in her apartment. The idea of hosting parties inside an apartment might lead you to think that Coco Chanel's apartment was an expanse of large spaces. On the contrary, Chanel's apartment was small rooms, which, combined with the warm tones on the walls and furniture and the cozy atmosphere of the soft chandeliers, create an intimate space for her and her friends. Not one to embrace solitude and loneliness in her life, Chanel hated doors and the symbolism of departure that they represented. Accordingly, she used large, intricately designed screens to cover doors in hopes that guests would forget to leave. Each of these screens doubled up as her wallpaper. Sometimes she moved them around the room. These lacquered Chinese screens featured intricate designs and motifs that reflected some of Chanel's favorite art, notably camellia flowers. For Chanel, camellias are a flower packed with history and meaning. Thought to have first interacted with these flowers in her teenage years, Coco Chanel would renew her love for the blooms when her lover, Arthur Capel, handed her a bouquet of white blooms. Depending on the culture, this flower might mean longevity, which resonates with Chanel's pursuit of timeless pieces and design elements. But her love for this flower extended beyond her love life. She included the motif in her designs and inside her house on her crystal chandeliers and coromandel screens. More importantly, the camellia flower is scentless, meaning fresh blooms did not interfere with her signature No. 5 scent, which she loves spritzing in her apartment. Her apartment was deeply symbolic, filled with mementos from her different journeys in her life, gifts from friends, and relics of Eastern and Western religions. Wheat is one of the prominent symbolic elements in her apartment. Being a highly superstitious woman, Chanel believed that wheat symbolized luck and prosperity. As a nod to this, she hung a painting by Salvador Dali, An Ear of Wheat. She also had a Gousson gilded sculpture of a sheaf of wheat supporting one of her tables. Designers from Chanel drew inspiration from these wheat motifs to develop iconic pieces, showcased in the 2020 Meteor d'Art collection. Another symbolic element in Chanel's apartment was the seated lions, a nod to her Leo astrological sign and her strong belief in destiny and predetermination. She also had several crystal balls and tarot cards in her home. Also a firm believer in duality and the power of yin and yang, Chanel added her motifs in pairs, notably the diverse animal sculptures in her apartment. Some of her iconic animal sculptures included the bronze frog, a bird sculpture enclosed in a birdcage. As a deeply spiritual person, she also included elements of Eastern and Western religious artifacts, including Buddha statues from Eastern cultures. Not all the elements in her famous Parisian apartment were symbolisms. Others were gifts from the friends and people in her life. Notable gifts include those she received from the Duke of Westminster, one of the richest men in England. He gifted her 3 octagonal cigarette boxes. Perhaps with a deep understanding of Chanel's principles of understated perfection, these boxes are unassuming silver on the outside, but glittering in gold on the inside. Other gifts from her friends include Dali's wheat painting, a golden hand specially sculptured by Alberto Giacometti, and an ancient Russian icon from Igor Stravinsky. Although Chanel invested heavily in decorating and personalizing the second-floor apartment, it was not where she slept. The apartment conspicuously lacks a bedroom. Instead, she preferred to retreat to her suite in the Ritz. She moved permanently into the Ritz in 1954, bringing some of her furniture. Chanel was not only an outstanding designer, but also an avid reader. She had a private library inside her Parisian apartment, with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves filled with books from as many eras as she could find, from Greek poets to iconic literature of her time. All her books were covered in deep red leather, an iconic color featured in her lipsticks. Her book collection dates back to her adolescent years and continued into her adulthood, allowing her to travel other worlds vicariously, influence her creative pursuits, and mold her personality into the iconic woman the world knew her as. In addition to books, Chanel collected timeless art pieces and furnishings from ancient Greece, Egypt, China, Italy, and Japan. She incorporated these elements into her apartment, turning it into a complex display of her personality and artistic sensibilities. Beyond the second floor are the studio, workshop, and atelier where all the Chanel magic happens. These spaces are designed with function, creativity, and productivity in mind, with minimalistic decor elements and plenty of natural light. Coco Chanel was an icon of timelessness, a believer in art, design, and fashion that transcended the artist. Her apartment on 31 Rue Cambon is a testament to this, featuring pieces that continue to inspire designers and, today, serve as a monument to her life and the mark she left upon the world of fashion and style. In recognition of the impact of her life and contributions, the French Ministry of Culture designated her second-floor apartment a historical monument in 2013. Shortly after, French interior designer Jacques Grange restored the apartment in commemoration of Coco Chanel's 50th death anniversary. Unfortunately, the apartment is not open for public tours, but if you can secure an invitation, a tour will be a historic event, taking you back to the life of the iconic Coco Chanel. For now, most of us can only satisfy ourselves with the photographs recorded from this apartment. That's all for the video. Let us know what you think about her apartment. Don't forget to subscribe for more tours of the homes of iconic figures.